for men who refuse to stay complacent. Welcome to the Upgraded Man Podcast with your host, Chris Anderson.
Welcome back to another recording of the Upgraded Man Podcast. I'm Chris Anderson, your host. Today is going to be a fun one. We've got Nate Spangle on the show. He's the founder of Get Indiana, and we call him the unofficial hype man of Indiana. So he goes around the state highlighting what is awesome about Hoosier Nation and everything in these small towns to big towns. And he got his start. It was pretty unique. So we're going to dive into that. So you guys, if you don't know, yeah, he's just grown a massive brand with Get Indiana, millions of views, huge following on social media. His podcast, Get Indiana, is just crushing it. So, Nate, welcome to the Upgrade Man.
I am excited to be here. This is fun. My first time in Tipton proper. I just drove through downtown.
Yeah.
Great spot.
Yeah. What,
Super Bowl 1894 on the courthouse?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. They've been doing a lot of work.
3,000-pound bell?
Yep.
Come on now.
It's pretty cool.
I'm here for that.
Yeah. So, and it's great because, I grew up, my grandparents from Tipton. I grew up in Greentown. So, now I'm in my grandparents' house. And so, there's a lot of history there. So, I take my kids to the pool at Tipton, one of the best pools around. Still $3.
You love that.
Yeah. And so, I was taken there by my grandma and my mom, and now I get to take my kids. So, it's cool.
That's so fun.
Yeah, man. I'm really excited because, being a Hoosier, seeing what you're doing, highlighting all these cool places and things to do is neat to see. And you learn. There's some things that I didn't even know was happening in Indiana. And your start, though, was pretty unique. I guess it's actually kind of true to form with being a Hoosier, right? So you're working at Powder Keg. You decided, hey, I'm going to buy this truck off Facebook Marketplace. I'm going to go chill and wait to get into the Indy 500 to get in the infield and see what happens, basically, more or less.
Yeah. We were hosting a podcast at Powder Keg. We had put out maybe 50 episodes. Right. It was all about business and entrepreneurship in Indiana. It was not growing as fast as we were hoping. And I was like, we got to do something big. It was March-ish timeline. The Indy 500 was around the corner. And I just got the idea of literally walking into work. I was like, I'm going to record this video. And it was, I'm on a mission to be the first truck in the infield at the Indianapolis 500, and I'm going to throw the first ever all Indiana tailgate. Yeah. And I had read the story of Larry Basiglia. Okay. He had been first in line for 37 years in a row. So I believe it was the 60s into the 70s, and before then, crazy. The guy is a legend. And I was like, someone needs to do that. I didn't own a truck, and but the video blew up. It was at the time I maybe had 5,000 to 7,000 followers. Okay. It got 75,000 views or 50,000 views, just a crazy amount. And hundreds of comments from brands saying we have meat and we have beer and we have we want to be part of this. And so I set out on this journey. I had to go buy a truck. I found it on Facebook Marketplace. It was $3,000. It was a 1986 Dodge W250 utility bed. It's a beast. And the rise was born. We gained 15,000 followers in 6 weeks. Got almost 1 million views over that time, and I made $10,000 working with sponsors. Jeez. And I quit my job the week after that, acquired the podcast from them, and the rest is history.
That's crazy. So that transition, did that go well? Hey, I want to buy the ride.
It was awesome. It was, So it worked out in a way. I was servicing a few customers, and I ended up working for free for the rest of the year to earn basically seller financing. Sure. It was I'll do the work, they'll get the money, I'll get the rights to the podcast. Nice. And it all worked out super well. Awesome. Matt, the founder of Powder Keg, is a great mentor of mine, kind of taught me so much about marketing and content and working at a startup. Yeah. And still good friends to this day.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah. I love that. And it kind of I took a leap, quit my job, try to start a business. And so I always love when people do that, take a risk, take a chance on themselves, right?
Yeah. It's wild because it's terrifying and scary and stressful and, your highest highs and your lowest lows all come through that.
Yep.
But it's not as bad as I think a lot of people fantasize it to be.
Sure.
It's all figure outable. And I just have to keep telling myself tons of people have done this before and figured it out. And you don't get the luxury of turning it off sometimes. You got to stay true to your word and finish out your obligations and do whatever it is. But at the end of the day, it's all figure outable.
Yeah. And it's each level you get to, there's new problems, right? And you just are better equipped, and you overcome them. So it's like, all right, just bring on the next problem. We'll get through it too.
Yeah, it's like you think, okay, yeah, now I've got it figured out, and then you don't. It's usually like
Yeah.
the next thing
Yeah.
just comes along, and you're like, okay, I gotta figure that out. The next thing out. Like that's just how it goes. It's the treadmill. It's like the ever revolving hamster wheel of entrepreneurship.
Yeah. Now, you wanted to be an entrepreneur or have your own business for early on, right? Before Powder Keg and everything.
Yeah, like my whole life.
Yeah.
From the time I was a little kid, mowing yards to one of my best friends, Nick, and I went out on Black Friday when you used to have to stand in line and sold hot chocolate to people standing in. Like, I was just, I didn't even know, I didn't call it startups or entrepreneurship. I was just like, I want to work in small business. I want to control my own destiny.
Yeah.
I like that. I like the variability of it. Like, I'm not the smartest person in any room. I think there's so many ways that, like, where other people are better than me. But what I know is I will just put in an unlimited amount of hard work.
Yeah.
And so it felt like if that was my input, entrepreneurship and owning my own business seemed to be where that input in was going to have the greatest output on the backside. And the greatest output of, like, I'm really driven by impact.
Sure.
So, like, going the corporate route or somewhere big where it didn't really matter if I showed up or not wasn't really for me. The idea of every day when I joined a startup like Powder Keg, I was the 6th employee.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's like you're over 10% of the workforce is you. Like you, every day you show up, it matters.
Yeah.
Like now we have 4 employees at Get Indiana, and it's like 25% of the workforce has to show up and bring their A game Monday through Friday. Like, or else 25% of the work's not getting done.
Yeah. What is that like for you? Managing or leading now your small team, which is still amazing. To have that. What's that like? What's that shift been for you? Because leading, like being solo, is one thing. When you have people that you have to lead and quote unquote manage, then does it change? Have you found it difficult, more difficult than you thought, or more easy?
Oh, great question. It's hard, anything, but it's like good. Like I think that it's a good thing. I'm 29 years old.
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of times adults steer away from uncomfortable things or learning new tricks. Like before this, I'd never managed anyone. Like maybe a summer intern.
Sure.
Maybe like, so it was like, it's been a really good learning experience. And like, you have to be bad at it to start, to then go out there, do research, listen to podcasts, books, whatever it might be, to learn how to be good at it.
Yeah.
Or get maybe not even good, just get better at it. I think that it's been a huge learning curve for me. I think that but it's healthy pressure.
Sure.
Like there are other individuals whose rent relies on you doing what you say you're going to do, like paying the bills, making payroll, like all of the stuff, there's families.
Yep.
There is, it's a healthy amount of pressure. It's a lot, but, and like emotions and people and like knowing it's my thing. And, you have to inspire your people to, come into work and do their best every day, but they might not care about it as much as you at 10 p.m. on a Saturday night.
Right.
Like for me, it's my life.
Yeah.
It's like, it takes up a lot of mental capacity for me, but for them, it's like, again, like they care and I have the best team ever. But it's also, knowing where, like what's realistic and what timelines look like and what people's emotions are and how they respond to coaching and feedback and everything. It's a never-ending learning curve.
Yeah, for sure. And then did you expect it to grow as fast as it did when you stepped away? Like you had that initial success, but you're like, okay, this is probably just gonna be gradual. It seems like it's.
See, it's so funny because sometimes you don't see the forest through the trees. Yeah. I feel like it's been slow.
Okay.
And then other people and it's like, oh my gosh, you're growing so fast.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't know. That's just like the entrepreneurial, like, it has been a really good lesson in gratitude, where it's like, you get caught up in like more views, more revenue, more this, more that, more. And you're like, wait a second. It is pretty cool what we've built. Like, it's awesome. Every day we wake up and make fun videos for the internet.
Yep.
Like, there are very few people in the world that literally get to walk into a place and feel like inspired to be creative and have fun and laugh and joke and have conversations and get paid to be curious. You know, like that is super unique, and not everyone is as fortunate to have a career like that.
Sure.
And on the other side, it's like you have to keep going because a little bit of the business is relevance.
Yeah.
It is staying in the center, and it's like the spotlight goes on, and you're the show, right? So like, what are you doing? And like the show is asking good questions, being curious, being entertaining, being fun, like having a smile.
Yeah.
Even when, it's like, oh, it's a long weekend. I stayed up too late with my buddies. Like,
Right.
you still got to go in there and do your thing. So, I would say it is growing based on the work that we're putting in. It makes sense, but I'm also very fortunate. So it's like both sides, right? It's like, is it growing? It's growing super fast, and we're really lucky. But it's also like, well, let's keep wrangling what we're doing, getting better, and learning and growing.
Yeah. So with that, do you think it's your strategy of going out and highlighting these areas? Is it the quote unquote stunts that is helping you grow more, or people truly just want to know more about Indiana and what's going on? What do you think is leading to this success so much?
It is a few things.
Yeah.
One, it's candid, it's not polished.
Yep.
We're real authentic people. Like, if you see us out, like, who you see on the internet is who you meet in real life from the whole entire team, which is, I think, is special in a world of like polished and edited and I think the difference is too, like, we go out to places, like, you'll see us in Tipton and I'll like be recording there, or I like, if I don't make it to the place, I go as deep as the internet will let me to learn and become an expert on the thing.
Yeah.
And I have literally, over the last, anyone who knows me, over the last like 3 years, like, I'm hyper obsessed with learning everything about Indiana.
Yeah.
Like, favorite sports teams, favorite this, favorite, like, if it is not like an Indiana history, Indiana culture, Indiana knowledge thing, like, it's probably been in one ear and out the other. And just like learning about this and learning about entrepreneurship has been literally my life. And people can sense that. Like, they'll meet me in person and ask me a high school mascot, and I'll be like, "Go Blue Devils," and like it's real,
right?
So I think that is a little piece that, like, you can't fake obsession.
Sure.
And I think that there's a piece of also like the right place at the right time. So there's a huge, so when we think of like the videos that do the best for us, there is an audience that is interested. So when we talk about high school sports, for instance, which we talk about a ton more than just sports, but high school sports, the state championship preview, let's say baseball, we just had that. There is a huge audience that is looking for information. There's all the local communities that are proud. There's diehard high school baseball fans, large captive audience. There is a limited amount of content. So where our business grows is the delta between that.
Yeah.
We are the people that are, talking about these small towns. Like, no one, any news station, any social media person, like, they're not coming to Tipton and like going in. I just walked the full, like, all the blocks down around the square.
Cool. Yeah.
They were cooking barbecue out at, what is it called? Mad Tap.
Oh, Mad Tap.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
They had the smoker rolling, and it took everything for me not to stop through there. But like, we're going out there and doing it. There is a delta. There are people that are interested in things to do in Indiana.
Yep.
And there's a delta of people that are leaving Indianapolis, leaving 465, leaving the Donut County region, going out, experiencing the place, talking to actual locals. Like, I'll go sit at a local bar and chit chat with someone.
Yeah.
And where our business grows is the delta between those two.
That's awesome. I love that. So how did you get to that, to find that delta? Is that something you just knew over time, or just?
No, I literally figured out how to like talk about this like 2 days ago. I was like, why does it work? And it's like, oh, there are people that are interested in this content.
Yeah.
And there is a lack of that content. Like, there are I don't know, like almost nobody else is talking about the Tipton Blue Devils football team or whatever it is, And like, now we have an entire sports podcast dedicated to a little bit of pro, a lot of bit of college, and a ton of high school sports. Talking about it in a modern setting. I mean, everyone remembers, you come up through high school football and you're like, finish your game, you win it. You like turn on the sports station and, they literally take 5 minutes and read like all the scores from the area. And you're like there for your 15-second media hit. Yeah. And it's like, well, what if we could do that more often? What if we could do that, in a really authentic modern way where people were seeing it, could share it on their Instagram, could like get their roses, like, so on the sports podcast, they did a breakdown of the 4A, the 3A, the 2A, and the 1A state championship game for baseball and softball. Okay. That was kind of like their first foray into high school sports, and people loved it. Yeah. Those communities are proud of their people. They have Division I talent. They have Division III talent. They have people that have put their heart and soul into this sport. Again, this is like becoming like we are a sports podcast, but the same thing is true for like the Main Street coffee shop. Right. That's why I don't do like ratings. Like I'm not going to walk into a Main Street business and be like, okay, the
one sip and I'm going to give you
one sip. Like totally, like there's a market. People like that.
Sure.
But I'm more interested in talking to the owner who
Yep.
maybe used to be an insurance salesperson and she quit her job to start like the Main Street boutique or the Main Street restaurant or coffee shop or whatever it is. And, you know, has been working their tail off to build this thing and learning the story behind that.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're going to go in there and if all you're looking for is like the best meal, like you can find that in a big city. You can go pay whatever amount of money and wherever and get it's like something delicious.
Yeah.
But the story of the person and like the feeling of small business, the feeling of entrepreneurship, like when you go in there and sit down at a dive bar in a small town and you know the history where like decisions were made and people celebrated the returning, like when the troops came back from World War II. Like there's just like a rich history in some of this and there's a story that's deeper than just like how good the pork tenderloin sandwich is.
Right. No, I love that. And I think, you know, because that's, so people look at it and like, maybe they're in a business and they're like, well, that's great, Nate. I mean, your media company, you know, you got to do that. You got to highlight these things and then you can build revenue through sponsorships and things. But how can I create content that's the same, like finds that delta still to gain the attention and maybe I can't have as much fun. Maybe I'm insurance. Maybe I'm a bank. How can we find the delta and still...
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, here's a great point. I do think if you look at all the biggest brands around anywhere, they are all content businesses. Like, truthfully.
Yeah.
You know, look at the biggest breweries to the biggest insurance companies to the biggest social media platform, like tech companies, whatever they are, they have full content teams.
Yep.
Like, isn't it weird we live in a world where people want to watch people work?
Right.
You know, like there's a trash man who goes live on TikTok like every Friday morning and literally has it like suction cup to the back of the trash truck and like vibes out while he's picking up trash.
Yep.
Literally a garbage man has more followers than me on TikTok. Like that is nuts.
Yeah.
People will be like, they'd use that as a punishment. Like, don't do your homework and you might end up as a garbage man. Like,
now it's like, okay.
heck, dude, if that's that garbage man,
Yeah.
I'm interested.
Right.
And so it's like, you're lying. You're lying if you say I can't make content. I can't do this. It's just like, well, you just haven't watched enough content. You're probably not, like, I am chronically online. It is my secret to success and biggest flaw.
Yeah.
Like I'm addicted for sure. 100%. But if you want to be active on the internet and you want to be a content creator, you almost, not even almost, I think you have to.
Yeah.
Like all of your favorite influencers, content creators, podcast hosts have like crafted, like when you get to the top, maybe you can take a break from consuming content.
Right.
But if you're on your rise, you have to be online because you have to know not just to do like the TikTok dance trend, but like what styles are working, how it's resonating with people, what's hooking you in. Like you have to consume content as a creator. So if you're in the insurance space, what is the number one insurance broker in the country doing?
Right.
It's that Gianno Mazzarelli.
Okay.
Mazzarelli, have you seen this guy?
I don't know if I have.
He literally just records his cold calls
Oh,
of him cold calling, dialing
Sure.
to sell life insurance.
Okay.
And people now watch him
To learn how to
try
do it.
to sell.
Yeah.
And like he gets yelled at, and but he like someone hangs up on him, like cusses him out,
Yeah.
and he instantly turns back on his music and just dances it out.
That's cool.
And he's like, I mean, his personality's not for everyone, but like
Sure.
he's literally taking cold calling
Yeah.
and making it more fun because he makes content out of it.
Yeah.
And it is like helping out the speed tours guy, the real estate guy. He's
yeah.
a goofball.
Yeah.
Have you seen him?
I don't.
Where he's just
maybe.
like, speed door,
Oh,
and like
and he runs
sprints
through
his house,
yeah,
and he's like,
yeah.
this is the garage.
Yeah.
It's like, he is just quirky
Yeah.
and silly, and he sells $1 million houses now.
It stands out.
And he like was on this mission to be like the number one real estate agent in the world. That was his goal.
Okay.
TBD if he gets there, but like,
Right.
he literally was just himself and was creative, and now he sells more houses. Like the guy was literally videotaping selling him cold calling people to sell them life insurance.
Yeah.
Arguably the worst possible industry job you could have. Like trash guy.
Yeah.
He literally picks up your junk for a living
Yeah.
and is making videos about it. And because he has a good attitude and because he's like fun and
Entertaining.
I watched like 5 minutes the other day.
Yeah.
And he was just a vibe. Like, he's got his Bluetooth speaker going. He's like bouncing in and off the truck.
Yeah.
He'll like be like, the truck takes off and he'll be behind it like dancing, and he'll jump back on it. It's like, I am watching a man collect trash.
And think it, like, people are like, well, Nate, Chris, I don't have personality. I'm just super monotone. I would still think they could do it. I think there's still people who would watch that. I think Penn and Teller didn't talk hard. Obviously, they're doing magic, but show what you're doing, even if you don't have a personality.
Kevin from The Office.
Yes.
Like, the whole shtick is like the Squidward thing, where people like relate with just how grumpy Oscar the Grouch is, like. But I think that it's whatever it is. It's like you need to really lean into whatever your personality is, and it's you. It's like if you say you can't do it, if you say you're not interesting, like a ton of people, like a ton of really important, powerful people are like, I'm not going to post on LinkedIn because no one cares what I have to say.
Sure.
It's like, how did you get where you are? How did you become the VP of this, or the leader of that, or the CEO of this? Like, share that. Even if you help 2 people, 1 person that's on the come up underneath you, wouldn't it be worth it?
Yeah. Did you ever have those thoughts of like, oh, I don't know if I'm this is for me. I don't know if I am the person people want to listen to. You ever have the limiting belief type stuff?
I had to have the other conversation.
Oh.
I had to have like, shut up. Like, stop trying to be something and like be some elegant, intellectual, something that you're not. Like, I'm not like a Socrates, you know. I'm not like I'm not gonna post a case study and like I was like trying to post on LinkedIn and like sound way smarter because I wanted people to think I was smart. I wanted to get into the IBJ, but then I like realized that my superpower was that I'm candid and like real and fun. And I always say it's like my vibe is like the fun guy at the office Christmas party, like first guy on the dance floor, like. Oh, it's like you love him. He's like kind of silly, maybe annoys you at times, but like that deep within, like every office like needs a guy like that.
Yeah.
And so I had to say, like, stop trying to be so buttoned up and stop trying to be like, the Mark Zuckerberg of the world, and just be Nate.
Yeah.
And lean into like I like tell the worst dad jokes. I do that in real life. Like, it's almost cringy, and you like laugh because you're laughing at me, not with me.
Yeah.
And that's just who I am. And the moment I started leaning into like who I was as a person, where like I'll wear my hat and I'll like, whoever it is, the CEO of whatever company comes in, and it's just like, I'm still gonna make funny jokes. Like I'm still just gonna be me. Like, okay, this is a funny story. But like for Indiana people, it'll make sense. I was on a call with Scott Dorsey. He's the founder of Exact Target. He's coming on the podcast. We're doing like a little prep call, getting him ready. Yeah. And he talks about this nonprofit that Exact Target started and how they're helping create digital literacy across the state of Indiana in high schools. I'm like, oh, so it's like Dolly Parton's Imagination Library, but for, and he was like, he legitimately laughed,
I was like,
but he was like, I've never heard that comparison before. And it's like, again, this guy was part of a company that sold for over $1 billion. Yeah. And I'm like, that was just what came to my mind. It was like Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. Awesome. So I just said it. And it's like, he was like, oh, this guy's like kind of a goofball. Okay. But like, I don't know, he's just like me. And on top of that, I stopped, and it's funny. I always say this when I go on podcasts. It's funny because I'm talking a lot right now. Sure. But like for my content, it wasn't talking about how great Nate was. Right. It was asking the right questions and learning about the stories that humble Hoosiers aren't going to tell about themselves and hyping them up. Yeah. Being curious and chasing that down, asking the questions that the audience is probably thinking that but might be too scared or never get the opportunity to ask. Yeah.
No, I love that. And that's kind of like why I started podcasting. Because I was like, man, I don't know jack diddly about entrepreneurship and starting a business. Like, what's the best way? Interview a bunch of people who've done it and then share that with other people. And that's kind of where it grew. And then it has morphed into the Upgraded Man because I was like, now I just want to help men. Like, let's help men upgrade every day. How can we do that? Let's talk, share stories, entertain, and give them hope and direction. And so, and some of the stuff like you've done out there, like provides so much value for these small towns because like you do get views, and so you're helping even keep some of these towns and businesses going and stuff.
Dude, this was a text that we just got.
Yeah.
Where is it at? Let me go back here and look at this. It said, wanted to send you a quick note to say baked. Which is this bakery in Kirkland, Indiana, a town of less than 1,000 people. has been overwhelmed with new customers, selling out multiple days in a row. This is a great thing. He reports 200 new social media followers, a 25% increase in sales, and he was skeptic at first. He was like, who is this guy coming in to make this video? Like, is he going to try to embarrass me? Like, blah, blah, blah.
Gotcha.
So he was a little bit worried.
Which is crazy. They didn't know about you. You know, I think everyone in Indiana knows you, and then there's people who still don't.
Well, you just like, you know, some people are worried too that it's like, that it's just fake and manufactured. And it's not like, I'll go in there and I spent, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes just like asking him his story about how he started selling cookies.
Okay.
And now he opens a bakery in a small town in Clinton County.
That's awesome.
And they have, you know, we posted a video and they've sold out multiple days in a row. Like that is tangible bottom line.
Yep.
Like new revenue coming into a small town.
That's cool.
Based on what we've put out there. Like no one is doing that for small town. Like they're doing that for like the biggest brand. And we still do that in Indianapolis. Like I go to the places everybody else goes, but I also am willing to drive an hour to go check out a new spot and on the courthouse square in Tipton. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Everyone who says there's nothing to do in Indiana has not seen my calendar.
It's true.
There's so much to do. It never ends.
And I love that. I think highlighting that, and that's why I always say, like, if I can help one person, it's worth it. You know, if we can change one life.
That's what about podcasts. Everyone's like, oh, no one's listening, and it's like,
I know.
If you were to go out on the street corner and 5 people stopped and listened to you for an hour, would you keep talking?
Right.
Heck yeah. If 50 people stopped to listen to you, oh my, you're selling out a room at that point.
Right. And that's the thing, like people starting out, like when I started, you know, I didn't think it was going to get, obviously I'm not to your level, but I never think it was going to grow at all. And like, think about it, like almost 10,000, between 10 and 12,000 a week, unique listeners. I'm like trying to visualize that number. Like to me back in the day, like 50 would have been, I'm like 50 people are listening. Okay, great. And now this keeps growing, and you know, it's just cool, and it just keeps going.
Dude, for sure,
and everything. And you know, with what you're doing too, like that has to keep you going, because some of the stunts you've done, like what you've eaten 4 tenderloins, ran the Monon or something. Like, what are some others? What's been your favorite stunt that I say stunt, but activity you've done?
It's
yes.
like,
What's your most fun or the most memorable one you've done that you were like, that was cool? Or I'll never do that one again. Either way,
I will never eat 4 tenderloins in a day again. That one sucked. Like it was great, but like that's far too much.
Because for people who are not from Indiana, these tenderloins are not like a burger bun. These are huge.
It's like
what,
the
like
size
12
of your
inches
head.
across.
Yeah, like it's massive.
Yeah.
It was like 5,000 calories. I was like, this is, and I had to do 4 breakfast, lunch, dinner, late night snack. But it was all to promote the Tenderloin Trail opening up in Hamilton County.
Yep.
I loved running the full Monon Trail. It's like an awesome like railroad that was converted into a paved path right from the north side of Indianapolis and Sheridan to downtown Indy. Yeah. It was a 31-mile run. I love running. It was an ultra marathon. It was super cool.
That's awesome.
I'm really excited. In a couple weeks, I'm like taking on our biggest test today. Okay. So one, I will say our biggest stunt every year is the Indy 500. Yep. We've hosted a similar tailgate. Yep. Like this past year, we had 4 DJs. Yeah. We had a guy who played in the snake pit, was walking through, saw our DJ set up, like a legitimate artist. Yeah. It's Murph. And he jumped up on the decks and like played for 5 minutes.
Awesome.
A snake pit artist played at our tailgate.
That's awesome.
It's great. We probably had 2,000 people come through our tailgate. It was nuts.
That's cool.
So those ones are always fun. But the next one, I willed this into existence 18 months ago.
Okay.
2 years to 18 months ago, probably. I said, has anyone ever canoed the entire White River? And I started to put it out there. Like, I didn't know anyone who had ever done it. I talked to a canoe guy, and he was like, oh, yeah, people have done that a decent amount of times. Like, but like, they're usually like experienced outdoors people, you know, like they're, you know, like the pinnacle of outdoor recreation. I'm like, I haven't camped since I put like a tent up in the back of my parents' house when I was like a little kid in Cub Scouts. Yeah. And so, but like over time, we got like the right stakeholders involved. We got the right sponsors in the mix. We like put this thing together. So in 2 weeks, I set off on a 5-day excursion. It leaves from Muncie and ends in Indianapolis. The White River is way longer than that. Yeah. But for our time constraints for the summer, we're doing 84 miles from Muncie through Anderson, Noblesville, down to Indianapolis. We're camping in the center of the river. There's like islands you can stay on.
Yep.
This is 84 miles on a canoe
Just
down the White River.
Are you going?
No, I have 2 or 3 tour guides.
Oh, good.
We have
Okay.
support staff,
That's
my
awesome.
camera guy.
Yep.
Like our group is like 12 different people.
That's awesome.
And it's sponsored by some pretty big brands that
Cool.
we're really excited about.
Yeah.
And it's going to be nuts.
That's
and I'm
awesome.
like, that is, I don't know if it gets cooler than that.
Yeah. That's gonna be.
Oh, I mean, the other big one is that we're visiting 1,000 towns. I visited
That's right.
like,
Yep.
I've visited like 140 so far, and it's just like ongoing.
Yeah.
Like I have to knock out every town in Tipton County while I'm up here. I'm like gonna drive all over
Okay.
before I leave.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
That's
fun.
cool. I love it. I love it. So, those things are always neat to watch, and I kind of like. I don't want to. I think Barstool.
Yeah,
Originally, when I think of what you're doing, to an extent,
it's like
because I think Barstool. I think a lot more sports. When I think of you,
Yeah.
kind of like the connecting and making it fun and entertaining.
Yeah,
kind of
I think it's
aspect.
a really great comparison.
Yeah.
I think that the distribution model is similar. I would say our content is like, it's like if Barstool was in the Midwest.
Yeah,
Like they're
sure.
very, they have their opinions.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's my way or the highway,
Sure.
which is good for the internet.
Mhm.
But I also think there's a spot on the internet for like people who hype each other up and
Mhm.
who have the Midwest values that are like, oh man, like I would just love to sit down and, have a meal or drink a beer with this guy, have a cup
Yeah.
of coffee
Yeah.
and like hang out and like just chit chat.
Yeah.
So the content distribution model, very similar. Like
Yeah.
podcasts, newsletters, social media, like all
Right.
those kind of things. Yeah. Very spot
Yeah.
on.
But nice. No.
But,
the Midwest. Yeah.
like sometimes you'll like see something and it's like, oh, like it is like
Almost more
I feel like
clickbait with Barstool.
Well, and I feel like Barstool is like you and your friends like talking smack to each other.
Sure.
And so sometimes you're like, if you're not on the inside of the joke,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Like ours is like, I feel like it feeds souls.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you'll see
Uh-huh.
some of our stuff and be like, oh, like, if you turn on the 6 o'clock news, it's like robbery, like unfortunate, like
Yeah.
violence, like danger, and it makes you kind of sad.
Mhm.
But then like hopefully you'll see something from us and you'll be like, no, there is still inspiring people in the world. There is still
Yep.
good. And it's like, not to say there's not a place, like there is definitely a place for the reporting of hard news,
Sure.
the telling the real stories. I just think that if we could spread a little bit of positivity, that it might make people more inspired to spread their own amount of positivity.
Yeah. Where does that come from? Where does that heart of Nate Spangle come from, of wanting to spread positivity, want to make a difference, and lift people up?
Yeah. Great question.
Yeah.
One, I've just always been like a relentless optimist.
Yeah.
But I would say there's a few like key moments that changed my life.
Sure.
When I was in college, my mom passed away from cancer. That was 2017. And I would say largely up to that, I was a very stereotypical average person, like self-absorbed.
Sure.
And I think that, I was like, I had just turned 20. And I feel like every, 17 to 20-year-old is very self-absorbed.
Sure. Yeah.
Me to the most. Like I talked for the sake of hearing my own voice, which is funny because I still talk for this living. But if
Right.
you really listen to the words I was saying versus the words I say today,
Yeah.
it is not about how cool Nate is and what I'm doing. It is about like the stories around Indiana, and I'm just like a mouthpiece.
Yep.
But I stopped being so self-absorbed and realized that one, you have a limited time on earth.
Yep.
And you might as well like make the biggest impact you possibly can.
Yeah.
And so when my mom passed away, my grandmother, my mom's mom, basically stepped in and became like a de facto mother for me.
Yeah.
She was like, she was born in 1926. So like she would be 100 this year.
Wow.
She passed away a few years back, but like totally different circumstances.
Sure.
Like my mom was young. My grandma had lived like the greatest life,
Yeah.
like so rich and full. And when my mom passed away, I would go home and I would visit my grandma and we would just spend hours sitting there in her living room, sitting there. She ended up moving into like a retirement community.
Mhm.
And I would go in there and sit and no TV, or if it was like Jeopardy on.
Yeah.
And it'd be like, okay, I can either sit here and hang out and watch Jeopardy, or I can have conversations.
Yeah.
And she taught me how to be curious because at her surface level, grandma was a 90-year-old farmer's wife who had always just like done the laundry, had a garden, and, cooked and cleaned.
Sure.
And it's like, if you never asked the question, you would think that was true. But then once I, started asking questions and digging deeper, I learned that she had gone to a year of college at St. Mary's and got her bookkeeping, taking a class in bookkeeping. And that was like, you didn't have to get a degree. You just had to take a class.
Interesting.
And then she came back and she would work in offices and then ran my grandpa's businesses. Like people would call her and she was doing the bookkeeping. She was like the receptionist slash customer success. Like she was like a total boss. She had done a cross-country train trip by herself to visit her college roommate. She had worked in a factory during World War II, making the tubes that went in radios for airplanes. Like she had done all these amazing things. On top of that, raised 5 boys and my mom, had lost a child, like all of these crazy things that are like really, really interesting. And if you would have just looked at it on the stereotypical service level, it's like, oh, she would have just known how to like cook a good meal and do laundry. Yeah. And it forced me to be curious and learn about her and the way she thought and the way she felt. And, she was just such a giver and was so good to her community and was so devout in her religion and all these things that, again, as a grandkid, if I just would have sat there and like waited for her to lead the conversation, like on the surface level, we had nothing in common. Sure. But then once you dove deeper, we had everything in common. And it was literally like a turning point in my life where I became genuinely, not fake, like interested in other people and their stories. And kind of taking the onus and the responsibility that I have to ask the right questions. If you think someone is vanilla or generic, it's probably because you're not asking the right questions. Yeah. And probably because you're not like, figuring out how to relate to them and what drives them and what they're interested in. And you're probably just having like the classic service level conversation. Right. And like, shame on me if that's how I'm living my life.
Right. So your mom had a big influence on you then? Growing up? Or?
She was like the face of levity. Yeah. Like even in like, the moments where as a kid, I was like, you're so embarrassing. Like stop trying to make jokes. Like she was just levity, like never took herself too seriously, no matter, we could be, and like when you're a kid, that's embarrassing. I remember being a teenager and it was like, all the parents of the football team or whatever get together and she would like crack a joke and like the doctor, like the doctor, the local business person's in the room and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so but it was like, it was never like ill will or making fun of it. It was just like, that's so silly. Yeah. Like literally like that was, and I would just like, you almost like roll your eyes and you're like, oh my gosh. But you just like, looking back now, that's why everyone loved her. Like she was just like, again, a breath of fresh air and levity and never took herself too seriously. And again, I didn't appreciate all that at the time. I was a self-absorbed 19, 20-year-old, like not really knowing what was going on in life and only worried about me. Right. And it was wild. I actually look back on it and I could have been so much better for her and I got a second chance to be better for my grandma. Yeah. If that like I kind of learned the hard way by like getting to the end and realizing I had never asked the right questions. I had never really learned about like what she cared about or, like I remember when she got diagnosed, I gave her like a little notebook. Sure. And I was like, tell your story. And it's like, dude, what do you mean? Like, how is someone supposed to sit down? Like my mom didn't go to college. She like spelling and writing and learning, like that just wasn't really in her forte. Sure. And so I gave her this notebook and like, then I remember opening the notebook after she passed away and I was disappointed that she hadn't like bestowed some prophetic wisdom on me. And I was like, shame on you, Nate. You didn't ask her a question. You didn't check in on it. Yeah. You didn't even, you did nothing to like help out on that or like ask the right questions. You just expected her to read your brain and read your mind and put it all down in this notebook. Like, so then when my grandma, I like crafted the right questions and like documented a lot of what she had told me of like, what her proudest achievement for her family was and, what her most prized possession was. And it ended up, it was a crystal rosary that she got on the day of her wedding from my grandpa. Wow. And it was like, she's like, worn the beads dry on that thing, like worn them down, like praying the rosary. And she was like the most devout Catholic woman I'd ever known. Because I asked the questions. Yep. And so it was like, for me, my mom made a huge influence, but like, I didn't appreciate it while I had it. Yeah. And I feel like, they always say youth is wasted on the young. Yeah. And like that moment, but then through like higher power, God,
Yep.
you get a second chance to like be the kid, be the son, be the support system that I probably always could have been.
Sure.
And then like that parlays into I get to sit down and talk to people for a living and try to ask the best questions possible, getting them to say, I've never thought about that before. Or like, no one's ever, that's gold for a podcast host, right?
Yeah.
No one's ever asked me that.
Yeah.
That you're either way off track or you're right on the money there. Like, there's no in between when someone says that.
Yeah. 100%.
And usually it's like right where you want to be for a podcast.
Yeah. So if you had the chance, what question would you ask your mom if you had the opportunity?
No one has ever asked me that.
I hope that's a good one.
I think I would ask her how she measured success.
Yeah.
And like in this world that we live in, it's like from the outside looking in, it's like people will use top line revenue. They'll use how big your house is, how many followers you have, how many views you get. And like those are all great metrics that I track, that our company tracks. That is great. But like what fills me up and makes me excited, like, isn't that much different with 9,000 followers or 90,000 followers.
Yeah.
Like it's not like all of a sudden you get to 90,000 and like, oh yeah, like now you hit the happiness number.
Right.
Like, you're happy now.
You're right.
It's like looking at like, am I making an impact? Am I getting more emails like that from people whose businesses we're helping, from stories we're telling where, like we've had fathers and mothers and grandfathers and grandmothers come on and their grandkids or their kids listen to it and they're like, no one ever asked grandpa that. Like I didn't know that that's how that part of their life went.
Right.
I didn't know that they were that proud of their family. Like meaningful conversations. It's like that's success to me. But it'd be interesting to know, like, as someone who's now on the other side, it's like, well, how are you measuring success at the end? And like, what could, having that discussion about like when you see the writing on the wall of where it all ends, like what were you thinking about and what did you care about? And then how do I apply that into my life today?
Yeah, that would be some answer, I'm sure. What do you think she'd tell you looking at what you built?
Dude, she wouldn't. I don't think she would get it.
No.
No one gets it. Like
Right.
my grandparents, I still have two grandparents that are living. And it's like we went out to dinner the other night and it was at like I was on a trip up in northern Indiana where they're from. I'm on a trip and it's paid for. And they're like, wait, what? Like it's like you don't have to pay for this dinner? And I was like, no, Grandpa, get the steak. Like it's free. And they're like, they don't get that. But then it's like I try to equate it to like, remember back in the day when you were watching whoever on the nightly news or whoever. It's like this is like where that is going towards.
Yeah.
So my mom, a similar thing. She would be like, wait, what? You get paid for this? And without a doubt, she would be like the first comment on every single video. She'd be like it would be just so funny because like, again, I was an only child.
Okay.
I am an only child. And the time growing up when your mom is your loudest cheerleader, and like brings a cowbell to every football game and every wrestling meet, and like you're like as a kid, like, oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing. And looking back now, it would be like she'd be so proud.
Yeah.
And appalled, like just like astonished, not appalled, but astonished of just like if we were out to dinner and it was paid for, that was like her favorite thing. And we were like not very affluent.
Sure.
So like we would go, her and I's like, outing would be going to Taco Bell and
There you go.
ordering like 3 things off the dollar menu for each of us, and like then going to a park or whatever. And she loved doing that and exploring, always wanted to go do stuff. But like we never really like, again, that's why sometimes having like budget friendly stuff is important because we never had money to go like to the movies every night or to the water park or on vacation or whatever it was there. And so she would just be so pumped where it's like, hey, a steakhouse invited us out to dinner and all we have to do is make a video. And she'd be like, no way. Like her mind would be blown. It'd be insane.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
So I love that because I mean, I think our heritage, where we come from, our history, I think plays such a big part.
Yeah. And I think people forget that.
Yeah.
I think lots of people out there in the world forget like again, in a world that's so divided,
Mm-hmm.
you know, where it's like, you voted for that person and I'm appalled. We can never be friends.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't realize that on both sides of that spectrum, it's like, well, if all you grew up in was generations of consuming the same news and the same stories and the same thing, and like you just learned one way, and
Yeah.
you know, they're like the opportunity to learn different perspectives never came around, like you'd probably be in that same mold as well.
Right.
And if we all just like, you know, listened a little bit and asked the right questions, could we start to see other perspectives a little bit better? And
Yeah.
could we start to understand? And at least, like, you know, you don't have to agree. It's a
Exactly.
big thing. I bring on people from all walks of life,
Yep.
all races, religions,
Yep.
political sides of the
Yep.
spectrum. And it's like, ask the right questions and, you know, you can learn why they are the way they are. And
Yeah.
you can either agree with that or disagree with that, but at least you understand.
Yeah.
And I think that is like a missing piece that I like love pushing forward is
Agreed.
when you get someone to listen to an episode with someone they might not agree with on the service level, and you realize, there's a lot more to that person than I initially thought.
Yep. We're too quick to attack instead of understand a little bit better
Yeah.
with different people out there in the world. And I think those are some of the better conversations when you don't agree with someone, but you take the opportunity and have the respect just to listen. Say, I still don't agree with you, but I understand more where you're coming from.
Yeah. And I can see how, given what your life experiences
Yes.
are, how you could think that way.
Yes.
And
Or-
it might be I won't think that way because I don't have the same life experiences, but like I get you. Like I understand.
Yep.
And like it doesn't mean we can't be friends.
Right.
It doesn't mean, you know, that you're the worst person that ever lived.
Right.
And like this is the other piece too. Like, shouldn't we all be consuming more content and learning, and like it's okay to change your mind.
Yeah.
It's okay to have like one set of information and believe one thing and then learn new things and realize, oh, wait, maybe I was wrong.
Right.
People are so, and I'm like the opposite way. Like I can put my hand up and own it and say like, I was wrong about that.
Yep.
My B, I learned this new thing and this is why I think this way.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, just own it. People are
Right.
so worried to be wrong. I'm like, I am wrong every day.
Yep.
Like every day I do something and I'm like, oh, that was kind of silly.
Yeah.
Can't believe I did that. You know, like I can't believe I used to think that. I can't believe
Yeah.
I was that way. And it's like, it's okay to be flexible and moldable and to like be curious and learn new things.
Yeah, and that's life, right? And that's like when I started changed and rebranded to the Upgraded Man, I wanted people to know like I am not perfect. I am the Upgraded Man is not a destination. Like there's not a tier to it that you're some perfect, you know, great guy. It's just a process. It's a journey that we're all on, and we're all different spots along it, and we have different pieces that we're better at on that journey than others. But it's a journey till we're done, till we're gone and done here on Earth.
Absolutely,
So,
man.
It's not being better than anyone. So do you ever feel like when you're out there, you know, hyping up these Indiana towns, hyping up these businesses, these people, like you kind of feel your mom with you a little bit of like her hyping you up? Do you ever get like flashbacks of like, man, like that reminds me of my mom hyping me up at the wrestling match? Or
That's funny because I've never made that
Uh-huh.
comparison.
Yeah,
But like literally anyone who knows me, like you got to go back to the Triton High School days.
sure.
Like she was the front row of everything.
That's awesome.
Didn't understand the rules to football or to wrestling. Like, but would like have her bell and would ring it and was so loud.
Yeah.
She was also deaf. So
Oh,
she had, well,
okay.
like legally
Like
deaf.
legally,
She had
yeah.
hearing aids.
Mm-hmm.
So she talked so loud. So whenever anyone would ask why I talk so loud, I was like, well, my mom is deaf. And that's how I had to yell so she
Okay.
would hear me. That was like my answer for
Gotcha.
many years. But she was so loud and would
Yeah.
hype me up like none other, introduced me to everyone. And I was like always so embarrassed. So it's like, it's funny. I've never made
Yeah.
that comparison until right now. And I'm like, that actually kind of makes sense. That
Yeah.
like I just embody what she was doing for me to other people and
Yeah.
like learn about them and just like absolutely pour gas on the fire of like,
Yeah.
dude, these people
Keep it
are
going.
amazing and you need to hear about what they're up to.
That's awesome. I love that. So, you started this when you first stepped away, though, to start this and become like the Indiana cheerleader, the hype man for the Hoosier State. It was just you, right? Or did you have anyone on board with you when you first started?
Okay, so that would have been like June of 2024. I pretty quickly brought on two like part-time, like one intern for the summer
Uh-huh.
that was again part-time. but like part-time but full-time. Like,
Sure.
Like, like the right people, like Will and Robert were my first two employees, and they just like bought in instantly.
Yeah.
Robert was a senior in college. Will was a rising junior.
Okay.
So a year apart from each other, but it's like they got it. So Robert edited the podcast every episode from when I left Powder Keg and acquired it to today.
That's awesome.
He's edited every single one. He started when he was in college as a senior, $75 an episode.
Okay.
It's like, that's all I can pay you.
Right.
So I would literally Venmo him $75. He would, or maybe it was, we did one episode a week. So it was like $300 a month.
Right.
And he would send me 4 episodes.
There you go.
We did all the file transfer through Google Drive. It was like, I would start and upload on my computer, and it would take like hours.
Yep.
And then he would render it. He would literally be walking to class holding his laptop trying to get it rendered because he had an old laptop, and it like would fry his memory because they were like an hour and 15 minutes long.
Yeah.
So he has always done the podcast. Will was just like my camera guy. He was quizzing me on county seats and counties, and he was filming for me and was editing a ton, and just like he had grown a TikTok page about cars to like 30 or 40,000 followers.
Okay.
And I was like, hey, come be my intern. I'll pay you. You can keep doing that. You can keep using our resources and everything. But you can also like edit my videos and be part of it. And they just bought in instantly, like
cool.
As young interns. And now they both work full time at Indiana.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. Because so it does take, if you're on your own, it takes a lot. Even if you have a team, it takes a lot. Do you have good systems in place? Or do you, I think we can always improve the systems, right? But like,
dude, yeah, I'm like not an operational guy.
Sure.
Like operational excellence is like on my list of things to master. But one of my high school best friends is kind of like our fractional, like operations manager. He is very like process and detail oriented, and I'm very much like, in the terms of EOS, like I'm the visionary and he'd be the integrator.
Yep.
I don't know, the right people have just like fallen into my lab at the right time and reached out at the the right point. So today it's like we have Shane, who runs all of our written content.
Okay.
Underneath Shane, we have a writer in South Bend, a writer in Fishers, and then depending on the day, like 7 to 10 different bloggers that like put out their own content. That all kind of like funnels up through like funneling the website and the newsletters and all that jazz. Then we have Austin, who's like the operational person who keeps us all. We use ClickUp, and he just like kind of tags it all in there, makes sure that sponsors are getting what they're paying for, that content is getting out, that everyone kind of has their I's dotted and T's crossed. And then Will and Robert are kind of the content side. We have a new intern who's going to be a senior next year. His name is also Will. We have really good success rates with intern Wills.
Okay.
So we have new intern Will. He is the editor for our sports show.
Yep.
So just like,
that's all.
Kind of like the producer, editor, like helps bring that to life. Dom is the on-air talent for the sports show.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome. We're growing and rocking, and I feel like whenever anything goes wrong or falls through the cracks, everyone blames it on systems, and it's like you can always improve on that side of things. And a little bit of it is just like when you're moving fast, things are gonna break, and you're gonna understand that like, oh, there's a better way to do this, and it's good to have outside people. It's like while you're running, it's hard to like adjust your running form.
Yeah.
It's like hard to change your insoles while you're in the middle of a 100-yard dash.
Right.
But like, when you get to the end and you can look back, it's like, oh yeah, maybe I needed bigger spikes.
Mm-hmm. No, that's true. I love that.
I'm a big analogy guy.
No, I like it. Yeah. So your setup with Get Indiana runs majorly, at least revenue wise, off sponsors. Is that correct?
99%.
Okay, cool.
Advertiser driven.
Yeah. Are your sponsor packages or is it for a time frame, like for 6 months, or is it for? How do you do that?
Typically, it's annual.
Okay.
Like there's some one-off, smaller ones.
Yeah.
But like our big one is we have annual partners where they're spending money to advertise on billboards or radio or TV or news or connected TV or wherever you are spending advertising dollars. We're like, hey, we put out modern content. We're advertiser supported. Like we can put your brand in front of Hoosiers.
Yeah.
Like we are, our audience is like 95% Hoosiers and 5% Hoosiers that moved away that wish they were still here.
Yeah.
So like we can get you in front of people. So whether you're an attraction, whether you're Oh my gosh. Like sometimes I get like put into the influencer category and I'm like,
Sure.
Nate, as a, like my social media is kind of that, but
Yeah.
like we have a newsletter that covers the state of Indiana, one that covers South Bend, one that covers Fishers. We now have a sports podcast, a state parks and recreation podcast, a live music podcast
Cool. Yeah.
with different voices, different faces, different styles
Right.
than me. And so it's like, we're getting year-long commitments from advertisers that love the state of Indiana that like, when they post on their own, maybe they get 8 likes.
Right.
Or it's like maybe their billboard gets seen a couple times or whatever it is, but it's like through our podcast, through our social media, and through our newsletters, like clicks and views and people learning about your business. It's just like a modern form of all those things.
Yeah, no, I love that. And so there's really kind of like no cap necessarily. You could continue to grow that.
Yeah, and it's like it's the easiest form of entrepreneurship. Like I love media. It was perfect for me because there's 2 scoreboards.
Sure.
Views and subscribers, followers, like all that side, revenue.
Yep.
It's like make good content, grow this number,
Yep.
find good partners, sell that number.
Right.
And it's like kind of goes on. Like at some point, everyone always asks, it's like, are you ever going to run out of things to talk about? It's like I have 1,100 different places to visit on my list. Like there's no shortage of Indiana stories to tell.
Things. Yep.
The key is like, can you continue to be fresh and creative on the delivery style and people not get bored with you and not to sell out. Like we do a lot of stuff that is not advertiser supported. Like advertisers help us fund, like, high schools don't pay us to talk about their state championship team.
Right.
The tiniest towns in Indiana do not have a budget for us to go. No one is like, yes, I want you to visit 1,000 towns in Indiana, and every of those 1,000 towns are going to give you $1,000. Like,
right.
That does not happen.
Right.
It's like we had to go out there, and we found like a truck sponsor in Roman Automotive Group who gave us a truck to drive everywhere.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
like we're
awesome.
trying to find a gas station partner because we're spending a ton of money on gas.
Right.
Like the whole 9 yards. So a little bit of it is like the ecosystem. It's like we make really good paid content for our partners, but that also then funds the ability to make free content for the nonprofits that need to get spotlighted. The whole 9 yards there.
That's cool. So they can almost like, so you're bringing in the people you go and highlight. You're highlighting those, lifting those people up, but then you're bringing these sponsors in so they can connect with them, but you're also bringing them into an ecosystem that allows them to benefit others as well.
Yeah.
Together.
Absolutely.
I love it. I love that a lot. So what, with that too, talking about doing good content, staying relevant, staying fresh, what lengths are you willing to go to on your videos to keep attention?
I mean, like within reason,
Sure.
We try not to be like overly mean.
Yeah.
You're like, like disrespectful.
Sure.
Like, some people are willing to do a lot more like jokester, pranky stuff to get views.
Yeah.
And so we kind of draw the line there. But like, I will suffer an unlimited amount, realistically. Sure. Like,
would you get arrested? I'm thinking like McAfee jump in the canal arrested for.
No, probably not. But that isn't how it would go. It would be like me reach out to the city and say like, I'm gonna recreate this.
Okay, yeah.
And like, but there's a cause and a story behind it.
Yeah.
About how like this cannonball, like you're telling the story of like how a cannonball into the canal launched a media empire that now shapes the state of Indiana.
Yep. Yeah. There you go.
And so it's like
have
never
Pat do it with you.
Yeah,
bring
right. And like you
it.
learn the story of why he chose to build his media company here in Indiana.
Yeah.
So it's like, and if you go back, it's like I don't think he necessarily chose to do that.
Yeah.
Like I don't think he like I mean he did choose to
Yeah.
jump in the canal, but
Right.
it's like if you could go back and ask him, it's like I don't know if he would say like, oh yeah, that was a great idea.
Well,
Like he definitely did choose to do that. I want to get that straight.
Right.
But like we don't like make like I am the butt of the joke, and that's why it works.
Yep.
It's not like your brand. It's not a place, a city, an attraction.
Yeah.
It's like Nate. Like people will laugh at me.
Yeah.
And like you ask any of my best friends, I am like the easiest person to be like the royal fool of the court, like the jester.
Yeah.
Like it's so easy to laugh, not with me, at me, like very, very clearly. Like and it's like that's what it is. So like when I have to eat 4 pork tenderloins in a day, you're like, haha, like Nate is so silly. Or like 8 orders of shrimp cocktail and like I literally lost my taste buds for like 3 weeks. Like, I couldn't taste anything. But it's like funny to laugh at me.
Yeah.
So I would say like there's no shortage of like, I mean, there is probably a limit, but like I'll put myself in the most uncomfortable positions as long as like I am the butt of the joke and not like somebody else.
Yeah.
Because like that's just not me.
Agreed.
And that's just not what Indiana likes either. Like I just know a lot of creators are willing to, and it's like I guess there's, the internet rewards that, you know, if you go out there and you do jokes or pranks or whatever, like it's funny. I like to do it. I like to do videos where it's just like, hey, people are getting a laughter and enjoyment off of watching me suffer.
Yeah. Have you done anything within the content you've created that you're like, sure, we'll do this. It's probably not going to do anything that actually blew up, like did better than you ever imagined?
Oh, man. Last year, we did the Small Town Showdown Bracket Challenge.
Okay. Yep.
And we thought of it on a Friday. We thought of it the Friday before Selection Sunday.
Okay.
So, like, you know, March Madness, it was like the tournament starts next week.
Right.
Literally, I was driving. Some of my best ideas come when I'm driving. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
We thought of the idea on a Friday, and Will and I literally canceled everything that we had planned and built out this bracket in 4 hours.
Wow.
And had it posted that day.
Jeez.
And it went insane. I gained like 10 or 11,000 followers from that like set of videos. And we put money up. We said, again, no sponsor. We just put it out there and said, in the winning town, I'll go there and open $1,000 bar tab.
There you go.
And people loved it. And we
Come
got
to my
like,
town, I want the tab.
Yeah, we got over 100,000 votes.
Wow.
We picked 64 towns in 4 different regions. Like, it was literally a full March Madness bracket.
That's awesome. Yeah.
People loved it.
Yeah, I remember that. Was really cool. I love the idea. It's so creative. Like, so you say best ideas come driving. How many good ideas have come from your team? Or do they all come from you?
No, they do not all come from me.
What's one
really good?
Yeah,
I was
gonna say, what's a proud one you're proud of that one of your guys on your team came up with?
Oh my gosh. So many like segments that we have done. Like I think that we had the idea to, I think they had put out like, hey, you should visit a bunch of places. And like that one was kind of like a group effort of like, we landed on the number of 1,000 towns. Oh man, I'm thinking through. This is bad. Like, I shouldn't take this long to think of good ideas.
Right.
Other people have good ideas. Yes, one that was really good. We did it for a stretch. I believe it was Will's idea.
Okay.
We played Indiana GeoGuessr, and we played it every day at lunch until I broke the world record for Indiana GeoGuessr.
That's awesome.
And we got up to like, I mean, there was like hundreds and I don't know. There was a ton of people in our live stream that were helping us like, that's Brownstown or that's wherever. And that was a really good idea. Like when it comes to like roundtable, like I would say my team is really good at brainstorming like smaller campaigns for brands. So, you know, like the fantasy football punishment where I lost my fantasy football league and had to spend 12 hours at the HC Tavern, and every order of shrimp cocktail I ate, like they came with that idea and we like workshopped it together to like knock off the hours and like make it together.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of our like everyday, like, and I mean, like there's times I just go out there and spend a day doing something and Will puts it together.
Yeah.
Like Robert crafts all of our thumbnails. Like they do all of this work that's almost like, it isn't like a ton of like big campaigns, but it's these like the everyday things that matter that they like let me think about like big extravagant campaigns, because I'm not like taking my creative power to think about what to title this video. Or how to design this thumbnail. Like I give them some feedback like once a week.
Sure.
But like, so I would say they're really good at those big ideas that are important for our everyday content, and let me think of like, okay, we're going to do this extravagant, like, okay, so we're doing the canoe trip. After that, I'm running a 50-mile ultra marathon in Colorado.
Oh, cool.
But I'm going to do a whole series about how to train for a mountain ultra marathon in Indiana. And like what I'm doing to train for this thing and like make a whole YouTube video.
Sweet.
Like that was probably, you talk about big campaigns too.
Yeah.
Like the one where our team came together and worked maybe the best was we flew a guy from the UK to Indy for the Indy 500. I think we're at like 120,000 views on our long form 20-minute YouTube video.
That's awesome.
7 to 8 minutes of average watch time, which on YouTube is insane.
That's great.
Like we only had maybe 3,000 followers or 3,000 subscribers when we put it out. To get like 120,000
that's crazy.
It's crazy.
That is.
Like
that's awesome.
it was like our greatest piece of content we've ever created.
That's really cool.
Like it's a masterpiece, truthfully.
That's really cool.
And so I'm excited to like continue to push in and do more of that.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I love that. So that's crazy on the YouTube too.
Yeah, because getting views on YouTube is so different than Instagram, and it's hard.
Yeah. Do you have any? So like, if it's not broke, don't fix it, kind of thing. Like this is working well. It's going good for you. Do you have bigger goals for the company?
Oh yeah, any entrepreneur, right? It's always thinking about be happy with today.
Mm-hmm.
Like I am happy. Like
Yeah.
we get to have fun every day.
Yeah.
Like things are good. But like it's also not the time to get fat and happy and take your foot off the gas.
Right.
Like we're positioned at a really interesting spot where we can continue to make a big impact.
Yeah.
We can get more views and followers and expand and grow. And we're always testing things. Like again, we just launched those 3 new network shows.
Yep.
We're gonna see how that goes. It's like giving them the right resources. To give them the right resources, we have to work with bigger partners.
Yep.
We have some interesting stuff coming with expansion and looking at different markets and how we're continuing to build properties. Because here's the end of the day, I don't scale.
Right.
You know, like I can't be the host of the live music show and the host of the sports show and the host of this, that, and the other thing. Like at some point we have to figure out how to really make a business, and it can't just be relying on Nate.
Yep.
And I think that we're flipping the switch right now. Like I think we're in a season of this is a full-blown media company. There are other people that deserve a voice, that deserve, because my Indiana is not everyone's Indiana.
Right.
You know, like what I like to do. Like I actually had a conversation the other day where it was like, you know, I'm not going to go to the ballet every Friday night, but I'm sure there are people in Indiana that would be really interested in the 5 best ballets or orchestras or plays or local theater. And, you know, like just because that's not, I'll go one time.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'll like experience it. Like I have
Uh-huh.
no issues with that. Like I love it. And I might even end up liking it. But there's probably someone out there that's like, I just want to know about arts and culture in the state of Indiana.
Right.
And like, we are positioned to give them a platform if they're like super obsessed and passionate about it and they're able to create content. Like, hit me up.
Right. That's cool. Have you been to Clues Hall at Butler?
I have been there, but not for a show.
Okay.
But I've
That's
like
pretty cool.
gone through a tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
The
bring like
shows are awesome.
really good comedians through there.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool location. So, and they're expanding. It's really neat. But you mentioned that. So, how did you get through the tough days? Like when you started, and maybe the views weren't hitting like you hoped, or you weren't getting the growth like you thought you were supposed to. Or
Yeah.
you just keep going.
I just don't sulk.
Yeah. You
Like
just keep going.
I have a short memory.
Yeah.
I have a short memory on good and bad.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
I mean, again, we just talked it through here, and it's like I can't even remember the last like 10 campaigns because
Right.
I'm already just like on to the next
Yep.
thing, which is like, again, a gift and a curse.
Mhm.
You know, like at times it's probably not the best thing.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't hit, it doesn't hit. Like the internet is like, okay, like clearly we did something wrong. Like learn from it and get better on the next one. And
Yeah.
if something doesn't fall your way, I'm like, again, almost to a detriment. Just like, I almost like live for bad news because it's just like I accept it and I don't sulk and I move on. Like
Yep.
there's nothing that can be done
Yeah.
that like, you know, like complaining about it is gonna fix.
Yeah.
It's like here are the cards that are dealt. Like figure out how to make a winning hand out of it,
Yep.
or figure out how to stack the deck in your favor.
Right,
Like
yeah.
you gotta like make it happen.
Yeah.
So, and it's like don't take it too serious.
Right.
It's fun videos for the internet.
Right.
You know, like at the end of the day,
Not so
again,
deep.
I'm not curing cancer here.
Right.
So it's like if it doesn't hit, like it's probably my fault. It probably wasn't executed correctly. Probably wasn't planned well enough.
Yeah.
Like there's so many different reasons, and it's like go out there and make the next one better.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the quote, like, this too shall pass.
Yeah.
Good or bad, it's going to
Like
be
Gandalf?
over. And I don't know. No, that's thou shalt not pass. He
Oh,
said you
yeah.
can't pass.
That's
I think
fair.
this too shall pass from the Bible, maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know. But
Okay.
No, but no, I think, yeah, kind of like the, short memory, like you talk about, it's in entrepreneurship, in life, really, because you're gonna get punched in the gut, or you're gonna get a knockout. And you got to keep moving, right?
It's all gonna be all right.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like the only way it's not all right is if you stop.
Yep.
You know,
sure.
like, and it's like it's like you just have to convince yourself every day that on the other side of this mountain there is prosperity.
Yeah.
And then it turns out when you get to the other side of that mountain, it's just like a bigger mountain or a smaller mountain. You just keep climbing, and then it's also like, truthfully, and this is like so cliche, but truthfully becoming infatuated with the process.
Yep.
I love making videos.
Yeah.
I am like the least artistic person when it comes to painting or drawing or writing or building or anything like that. But like knowing how to craft videos is my art form.
Yeah.
And like creating a portfolio of content that I can look back on and that I'm proud of. It's like literally my podcast is like if you talk about like a collection of, like, who just sold their catalog. Like Zach Bryan just sold his catalog. Like my body of work is my podcast.
Yeah.
Like it is the same. I think they're talking about Garth Brooks selling his catalog right now. And it's like my collection of interviews and the conversations that I have with people and the videos that I've created is like my version of that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, not like overly protective, but I'm like proud of that. And it's like, and I'm proud of like where I started at versus where I've gotten to and how I've been able to craft conversations and the stories that we've told. And it's like Joe Rogan, like he has I don't know what the number is, but like 3,000 or 2,500 episodes. It's like, that's his body of work. It's his catalog, and he's super proud of that.
Yeah.
Same thing with Call Her Daddy. Same thing with all the biggest podcasts.
Yeah.
Like, I love it.
And so with the success you've had, you go around, people know who you are, can recognize you, things like that. How do you stay humble? How do you keep it from going to your head?
Like I am known for being the most Indiana guy.
Yeah.
Like it would be weird if I met someone in public and acted like I was better than them.
Right.
Or like acted like I was too cool for school. It's like the reason I got here is because people relate because I'm normal.
Yeah.
And I'm like one of you. Like I'll be at the same dive bar you're at.
Yeah.
That's why I always love, like, so I have a rule, like I give every hater gets like one comment back. I'll never get in like an internet war.
Yeah.
But you get one comment back.
That's cool.
Just so it's like, hey, I'm going to be out in your town. Like you're going to see me around. Like I'm one of us.
Yeah.
And so like, and I think that that's authentic. And people have really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And so it's like the same way. It's like you meet someone in person, you like ask them about them.
Yeah.
Like, what's your name?
Yeah.
And where are you from? What high school did you go to?
Yeah.
They say Tipton. I say, go Blue Devils. Like, that's so cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Like, the reason that I get to do what I do is because you watch and you actually care.
Yeah.
And you're someone that has the opportunity to learn something from our podcast and make your community better, which then again is better for our business too, because the better that people talk about Indiana, the more they think of it, the more people that end up here, like the whole 9 yards. It just like fuels the circle of Indiana life.
Yeah. I love that. And it's so true. Now, going out, you mentioned negative comments. Have you had a negative comment that then in person they've come to you like, hey, I was sorry, or I'm wrong. I was wrong about you.
I haven't had anyone come up in person to say that, but I have them when I respond. And I'm like usually like overly nice.
Yeah.
I kill them with kindness.
Yeah.
Or I just like,
Yep.
and then I like put it on I don't like blur anyone's name out because if you're willing enough to put a comment out there, I was like, someone's got to get their Uncle Greg. Like this is a heinous comment, But I have had people like I've responded back and they're like, hey, that's my bad. I commented that before I had my morning cup of coffee and I didn't know you read all your comments.
Oh.
I don't read them all, but I read a lot of them.
Yeah.
And like, if someone's like talking smack to me, it's going to probably pop out. And I'll just be like, hey, Glenn, sorry that you didn't like my video about your small town. Like, if you go out there and create a video, I'll be sure to share it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times they're like, I can't believe you would highlight this and not that in my town. Like, thinking that I'm like the all-knowing, omniscient Indiana guy, which I try to be, but like I miss stuff too. And so that's usually my comment back is it's like, hey, my bad. I forgot that you were the expert. And so if you go out there and make the video, I'll be sure to help amplify that message.
Yeah.
And they never do.
Yeah.
Not one.
Right.
Not
don't-
one has ever been like, you forgot this thing, and then they go make their own video to compete with mine.
Yeah.
But if they did, I would share it.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yo,
They
they
did it.
saw our
Here it
video.
is.
They thought we got it wrong. This is the right version. Cool.
Yeah. Did you have to learn to take that criticism and let it go, or have you always just kind of like, yeah, it's whatever?
Again, it's like you're the town jester. Like
Yeah.
some people aren't gonna like that.
Yeah.
So like, dude, I don't take myself too seriously. I get stuff wrong. We use the wrong pictures. Like things have happened, and it's like, yo, my bad. But no one. The part that I can sleep well at night, like minimal. Like maybe one person has ever said, "I don't like what you're doing in person." Like
Gotcha.
maybe one.
Yeah.
And like that's okay. You know, like it's all online, and if people were lining up at my door to like come up and yell at me in person, then I might like evaluate what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But largely, it seems like the amount of people that out in public are like, dude, I love your videos.
Yep.
Like it is like 999,000 to 1.
Yeah.
Literally 1. It's
Yeah.
like, well, all right.
Yeah. Do you think this would have done as good if you would have been more broad? Like get Midwest and like highlighted Midwest stuff over
I don't know.
just Indiana?
There's like, it gets the ball. It's the Delta.
Yeah.
It's the Delta. And it's like, I think so often people that start in the content business are so worried about getting 1 million followers that they forget to get 1,000 followers.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
They forget to get 100 followers.
Yep.
They're so worried about starting, the biggest Joe Rogan podcast that they forget about the John Doe podcast.
Yeah.
And they don't even get, like their family doesn't even listen to their show.
Right.
And like largely, my friends will listen to episodes and they're like, maybe not every episode. Again, we put out a ton.
Right.
But like on the big ones, if I text it out, like people are, I'm like, you need to listen to this one. It's crazy. They like have given me great feedback and I've like seen the journey and the growth.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, at least my closest people listen to this.
Yeah.
And if I was so focused on getting everyone to listen to it, I forget to get anyone to listen to it.
Yeah. For sure. I love that. I think that's so cool.
Yeah. It's like just because, it's like the growing circles.
Yep.
It's like we started and we made content for this like pinpoint number of people.
Uh-huh.
Now we have like a small circle and then like the circle gets big. So like if we made content for just Broad Ripple,
Right.
which is my neighborhood that I live in Indianapolis, would it still be applicable if we made content for Indianapolis? Yeah, that circle is like, they are still residents of Indianapolis.
Right.
Then from Indianapolis, if I made Donut County,
Yep.
like would it still be applicable to the person that lives in Broad Ripple? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if we go to the state of Indiana, is it still applicable? Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, now maybe we make Midwest content. It's still applicable to you in Broad Ripple if we make Midwest content or America or global content. Like it's just like getting momentum, and that's what's contagious.
Yeah. The momentum and keeping it going for sure. So, well, Nate, this has been awesome. I've really enjoyed you on. It's been fun. I knew it was going to be just with your personality. So something with Upgraded Man we do at the end, we have the Upgraded Man journal. And so each guest kind of leaves something for the next guest, whether that be a quote, a question, a statement. And so then I'll read the previous guest's thing for the current guest.
That is a really exquisite journal.
Thank you. Yeah. Bought it on Amazon.
That's nice.
I should have looked somewhere in Indiana. I'm sure someone in Indiana makes it. So next time I got to
they
reach
do.
out to you and ask for that. My bad, Hoosiers. So I had Larry Hagner, on previously. He does the Dad Edge podcast, all about fatherhood and being a better dad and leader. And so he left you a quote. So I'm going to read it, let you kind of sit with it. However it resonates with you, whatever comes to your mind, you can kind of speak to, and then I'll let you leave something for the next guest that we have on the show. So Larry left, the definition of hell is being on your deathbed and meeting the man you could have become.
Wow. That's powerful. Holy smokes. Yeah. I think that like goes into you're never too old. Whether you want to start the business or you want to start putting out content, host a podcast, like you're not too old.
Yeah.
You're not too stupid. You're not too anything. It's like the only thing that's holding you back is just like the effort. I think that's super powerful. And I think it kind of relates to, for me, like the moment that transformed me into someone that I look in the mirror and I can say that I'm proud of was adversity, and whether it be losing my mom or just having that experience. I then did some self-reflection and some introspection of maybe I'm not the person that I'm destined to be.
Yeah.
And it's even today, it's I'm on the path.
Yeah.
I'm I'm closer today, hopefully, than I was yesterday. And the
Yep.
only thing you can do is keep getting better. So,
Yeah.
Larry, that is wild. That is really, really good.
Yeah. I think, because it's so, that's one thing with, I thought about too, when I was deciding, am I going to quit my job? Is this really what I need to do? On my deathbed, am I going to be proud of, taking that risk, taking that chance? If anything, I fail, I'll get another job, right? And so, I think we put too much fear in what other people think about us and what we do that we don't even try to become who we are meant to be.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So.
And that's what I always say too. And it's you're going to get to your deathbed and be like, oh, I'm really proud that I got 8 hours of sleep every night.
Right.
That is what I am most proud of.
Right.
No, come on. And you're going to be really proud that I'm not saying, again, I'm buy things, enjoy it,
Yep.
go on vacation, do the stuff. But at the end of the day, the thing I'm most proud of is the conversations and the relationships that I built.
Yeah.
And, I'm just lucky enough that those get recorded and are included in a body of work. So, yeah. All right. Wait, do I write it?
Yeah. So we'll give you this. You can go ahead, write it in there. You're actually the first in-person guest since the upgrade.
Oh.
So, so congrats on that. We've done virtual. But, I'll let you.
All right.
Here, you can just kind of write it right under there in that line, what you want to leave.
Oh, man. There's some good stuff.
Yeah. So the goal with this, while you're thinking on it, is I think it'd be cool to eventually, I don't know how many episodes doing this, but publish it as an actual physical journal. People can go through and answer these and respond to these things on their own.
So should it be a...
It could be a quote that you really enjoy that men might find beneficial, a question that you might ask a man that helps them improve their daily lives, or just something along those lines.
I think I'm going to put... Well, I guess that one was just about your deathbed, so I won't put another one about your deathbed. I gave this advice.
Uh-huh.
I was just up in Wabash, and I was on their podcast. And I gave the advice that, the secret to... Again, I don't even know if it's a secret, but and I don't even know if I would say we're on the track to being successful.
Uh-huh.
We're taking steps every day.
Yeah.
And they asked, what's your secret to success or advice? And I was like, dream so big that it makes people kind of uncomfortable. They think you're crazy.
Yeah.
Have large dreams, even as an adult. Yeah. Where when you say it out loud, it kind of sounds like, whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then outwork everyone in the room.
Yeah.
Be the hardest worker. When my head falls asleep and when my head hits the pillow, I have a clear count because I know that there's nothing more I could have done today. I know that I gave it 100% effort.
Yeah.
And it literally takes, I don't know, I feel like that's always how long does it take you to fall asleep? And it's 12 seconds.
Right.
I'm out.
Yeah.
So that's my advice.
I
So
like it.
I'll read it at the end.
Yeah.
All right. Dream so big it makes others uncomfortable and be the hardest worker in every room.
I love it.
Nate Spangle, episode 512.
Boom. Thank you, sir. So, I'm excited to share that with the next guest and see. Because I always think, I don't believe in coincidences. So I always think, things happen for a reason. So that quote, it'll be interesting to see how it connects with the next guest and how they resonates with them. But, Nate, this has been fantastic. Obviously, people can find you, Get Indiana. Right.
GetIndiana.com. Get Indiana on all social media. At Nate Spangle on all social media. Go, if you're in the Hoosier State or you're not and you just want to check out some interesting content. We have, again, I think we're 300 episodes in.
That's awesome.
We have tons of fun guides and blogs and tons of ways to find us. So go check it out.
Awesome. Yeah, make sure you do connect with Nate and Get Indiana and all they're doing, especially if you're here in the Hoosier State. just really, really cool what they're doing to highlight everyone here. So, Nate, again, I appreciate you being on today.
Cheers.
Yeah. And make sure you share this with somebody. If you're in Indiana, definitely share it so we can show more people what Nate's doing here in the state. And if not, share with someone who's, trying to build something on their own. They can be inspired and motivated by, what Nate has done in his journey and the success he's had and will continue to have. So, but follow the show, helps keep doing this. And until next time, keep upgrading. We'll talk to you later.